Okay, so when we're dealing with weapons in a combat environment, really fighting with them, not just practicing with the weapon to look good because that's in our style and we're supposed to do it, but to really study the weapon in a martial art, in a jutsu concept, you have to know what to do with the bow. Okay, now, many times the standard concept of fighting with the weapon is staying right here and countering. But that does not give you an advantage because he has the same advantage. He can hit me and counter. Actually, he has a greater advantage because he has momentum on his side. He has the spirit of here like this. Now, you see, I've gained the initiative. I've totally eliminated his bow as a useful weapon until he alters his position or alters the position of his hands. And he doesn't have that much time. You see what I'm saying? So that's one way we fight him. If he comes at me here, now, I've totally eliminated everything, you see? And I can use one of my other weapons, you see? So, your weapons, in weapon fighting and using the weapon, you have to be conscious. And what you want to do is defeat your enemy by your position, your movement, and you rendering his weapon and blocking here like this, and he's standing here and he goes, ah! Well, what's going to keep this guy from hitting me with the other end? So when he comes at me, and he hits me with the other end, see? So he comes at me, now he can't hit me with the other end. I defeat him by positioning. You understand? The science of doing that all the way through. Here, comes at me again. Now, I have it under control. This is better. What we're going to do is going to learn back up from the very first when you've got a student walking into your dojo that wants to practice weapons. First weapon you teach him is the bow. The bow has properties, and we're going to talk about that. We're going through the bow. Then we're going to talk about the sight. And this is the order of the importance of the weapon. And I'm basing that importance on the number of techniques of katas taught in Okinawa with the weapon. More katas with the bow, next comes the sight. Then tonfa and kama are about equal. Okay, and then you go down from there. Now, right? All too often, your unarmed kata either will prepare you for weapons training, or weapons fighting, or it will not. One or the other. Okay? Classic example of what I'm talking about is he comes and he throws a punch at me. If my training is here, I will not be prepared to fight with weapons. Okay? You understand? This is the recipe for now. Okay? If your technique, your unarmed technique, trains you to do this, then you are ready for weapons training. Okay? Weapons fighting. Now there's a difference between weapons training and weapons fighting. The difference between Kobudo and Kobujutsu. Okay? We are training today Kobujutsu. Okay, so let's talk now about the different methods of using a bow. Okay? Different ways of using a bow. Now I'm going to take three popular methods. Okay? Now I use the Matsumoto method. And as far as I can ascertain, old men that I saw, Shinken Taira, Shigeru Nakamura, Hohan Soken, they use this same concept. The simple concept because now the line is shorter, and so this is not going to be going as fast. This is where you get your power, from right here. Not here, but right here. And to cut at a 45-degree angle. Teaming, focusing your punch, okay? Same thing. So as we hit, as I focus here, you'll see the end of the bow shake. If we're hitting here, it has to go way up here. It has to go another foot before I get the keming, okay? I get the same keming about like this one with the underneath the arm. It has to go too far before you get the keming, okay? A little pop, all right? All the old masters that I knew were born in the 1880s. Anchor the bow right here. Okay? So what I want you to do now, and I'm using this as a block. See? So now my left end of the bow, then I strike, you see? So when you do this strike, this left end of the bow's got to come just like that, because that's a sweep. Okay? What it corresponds to an unarmed technique. Unarmed technique, when he punches, a block, sweep, jab. Okay? You see? So comes in the block, sweep, jab, making it. All one technique is just like this. Same thing. You see? Same concept. Here. Here, come here. Okay, now don't come here, because your upward strike is limited in its ability to penetrate your target, and it loses power because the bow here on your shoulder stops this end from doing the job. Okay, so you're here now. And I'm here, and it's here, off to the side here. See how I got that? I rip right up through him and come back down on him, okay? I'm not going to do this. Matching the feet from the jaws of victory, okay? When you're fighting, guys, it's hard for me, so I get a little frustrated sometimes. Somebody comes here, and you come here and you punch at me. Okay, now, I'm going to then take this hand here and counter. It has to go 3 feet. 3 feet. Okay, watch. This one has to go 6 inches. You see? So this is what you use. This is fighting smart. Same way with your bow. Too often with what we see with modern side practitioners is just this kind of stuff. This has no power. This is not the way the weapon's used. This is an aberration. It's, it's not the way it's going to be used. Think of this thing as a defense weapon. It's got to turn a heavy weapon that's striking at you. It cannot do that unless you're using big, powerful techniques. Is that move to be done this way? Well, that does not give you the clearance that you need with the bow. If I'm doing it this way, see where his bow is? I haven't gotten rid of it. It's still where it's dangerous. But when he comes at me here, I'm getting rid of it, pushing it out of the way. Okay? Want the thumb coming this way, not this way. Okay? Not this way. But this way to here, in. In.
Part of it is not all the sword, this bullshit.
Okay? Just here.
Yeah.
When I'm here like this thing comes at me, I'm coming right down here, his hand. Okay? See? Okay? Now, what do we look for in a good combo? What do we look for in a good combo? Good question. First thing that we look for is you want the cross-section of the handle to be oval. All bladed weapons should have an oval-shaped handle. Without an oval-shaped handle, you're looking at the owner of that comma or that weapon that's going to cut himself sooner or later. It's just a matter of time. So get your comma with an oval-shaped handle. The handle then should taper back toward the blade. Taper toward the blade. That means that as you use as a blocking surface, he strikes my head and it sticks right there. If it's too rounded, it'll bounce off. You got 50% chance that it'll bounce off the wrong way and hit me, right? So you want this thing to be kind of flat, so you can actually block this way. Another thing that you want is you want the back opposite part of the blade from the point to have a little square section on it, okay? Square section, just like that. Now you don't want it to form a straight line with the handle. You want it to go and form a slight angle. What this means is that maybe he's hitting at me low. He's hitting at me low. And I can use it as a block. And it's not as likely to slide off if it has that little angle going back this way. That may give me the chance I need to turn the weapon and cut him all to pieces, you see? Okay? So, it's a block. It's also a hit. You come at me here, here. Maybe I don't want to hurt him. I just want to brand him real good, see? Leaves a little indentation right there, okay? So it's good for that. Essentially, like we do with the sight, like we do with the tonfa, we have an open and closed version or technique. Somebody comes to me with a combo. Okay, now what you doing next? Something. You do something next? Now, we're right here, see? Take your eye. So you can't see. Okay. Can you look at that? Okay, a lot of things. So you come at me some kind of way with it. Go. Keep on going. Keep on going. Oh. You attack me.
Oh my goodness. Oh my God.
Okay? Don't hurt. You just like you would fight with anything, okay? You just stay loose and you fight. You change bodies and get out of the way. He's got the best advantage. Hard to defeat somebody who was common this determined. This is going to be totally maneuverable. Now,